Good morning, another glorious summer day. Thought I'd bring out some real heavy metal this morning, so I've gone for a bit of a Coastal Command theme. Bearing in mind, obviously, this Catalina over here is actually an RAF one, but the Catalina I have, which is Coastal Command, is buried underneath a pile of boxes, so we'll leave that. So I've gone with 4 aircraft today. I've got more. I'm just literally needing the B-24 Liberator now. I've got the Halifax and Coastal Command colours. I've got the Millennium and Coastal Command colours, plus obviously all the Corsairs and Wildcats and all naval stuff as well as another Sunderland as well out there. So I've got quite a bit. I'm just desperately looking for that Liberator now to finish the collection, and I know Danny's going to do one of my damaged Lancs in the Coastal Command thing once the Tiger Force one comes back. So got 4 aircraft here. As one's actually just passing by, saying something historic passing overhead. So the first one I'm going to do is the Coastal Command Swordfish. So this Swordfish here is a Mark III model of 119 Squadron, and these were based around sort of the coast of southern England and East Anglia as well. And they were basically on anti-submarine duties. So if you look at this one here, has a large sort of ray dome underneath. I think there's a similar one at Duxford in similar colour scheme. So this is actually from 1945, so as we know by then the Swordfish was probably outdated at the start of the war. So this was mainly on night operations. It's an RAF Coastal Command aircraft, and it has the honour of being the last aircraft to sink a submarine during World War II in March of 1945. So these would go out at night, hence the Black Night, you're not almost a night fighter scheme, and go hunting for submarines and just be a real menace and nuisance to them. Yeah, really nice model. I mean, if you haven't got a Swordfish, it's well worth looking into. We've got the folding wings there. Obviously fixed undercarriage, so you don't have no fiddling around there either. Really good model. There's some really stunning ones out there as well. The Legends D-Day one is probably one of the better ones, plus the rocket firing D-Day one as well is really nice, and on my hit list, as well as the float planes, as well as a couple of float plane variants out there as well. So well worth looking into and getting if you get a chance. So we'll go over to this one here. This is the RAF Catalina based in Singapore. In 1941, just before the fall of Singapore, but they literally evacuated to the southern part of Singapore after the Japanese invasion and retreated to Java and then on to Australia, where they disbanded. This has the honour of being one of the first aircraft shot down by the Japanese in the Pacific War as well. One from this squadron anyhow, not this particular aircraft. Again, the Catalina, there's a new one due out this summer, an RAF 100 one of the Crookshank, which is a VC winning Catalina and pilot. Well worth looking into getting that. A really good backstory behind it. I know there's a short video on YouTube of a TV program made some years ago about Crookshank and what he had to do in order to get his aircraft back to base. He was severely shot up and barely conscious, yet he managed to get him and his crew home. Again, the Catalina is such a nice model. It really is. I'm lucky to have 4. So I've got this one here, a Coastal Command Catalina, very similar sort of scheme, but based at RAF Pembroke Bay. And I've got 2 US ones as well. So the one which is based in Malaysia, which was Snafu Catchers, I think it is, and the Pearl Harbor one as well. So nice lump of die cast. And really nice scheme and finish on this. Again, well worth looking into if you can get one. So going over to the 3rd aircraft is the lovely B-17 model by Corgi. I know it's a bit dated now in terms of the mould, and a lot of people moan about the gap around the front end there. As you can see, a little bit gappy, not crazy, but these really hold their value. You can't go wrong with a Corgi B-17. I've got the Air Force One example, which is nice. It's really nice. But compare it to the Corgi, there's no match really. I mean, the Corgi is head and shoulders above it. The last release, Little Miss Mischief, just sold out so quick, and I think that shows the collectors really go after it. So anyway, this B-17 is one based in Ballackelly in Northern Ireland in January 1942. And again, it was very much like what the Swordfish was doing. He was out on U-boat duties, and look, and this actual aircraft sunk 4 U-boats in its career as well. There's a lot of debate over whether the colours on the top there are actually correct, and they're probably not, to be fair. They're probably just slightly out, but I don't think it really detracts away from the model. The only bit that's doing my head in is the aerial at the front there has got a tendency to fall off left, right, so hence it's drooping a little bit, so it's needed a little bit of repair there. But the Corgi B17 is a stunning mould, it really is. And to be honest with you, I'm quite surprised that in the RF 100 year that Corgi haven't looked at doing a bomber version, a night bomber version. You know, I forget the name of it now, but there's a small version that they're doing the Legends range in 144 scale. You know, it's a nice looking mould, it really is, and it would look really nice, I think, in a day bomber scheme, so, or a night bomber scheme, I should say. So, yep, that's the B17, really nice model as well. And finally, the star of the show for me is this absolute beefcake here, and that's the Corgi Sunderland. So this is one of two I've got. This is one that the missus actually bought me for Christmas, one of the few die-casts she actually bought me with a blessing. The rest, I'm sure she'd like to torch if she had the chance. So the Corgi Sunderland is an absolute beefcake of a model. This one here is a Royal Australian Air Force example. You know, again, you know, based at RAF Pembroke Bay. It's really nice mould, as you can see. In terms of, have a look around now. So it's obviously got the large floats there. There's a actual hatch underneath that you can pull out with some, forgetting the names of them now, so not bombs, but the things they used to drop onto U-boats. Please help me out there when you get a chance. Yeah, real lump of a model, and you know, I know this was called the Flying Fortress, but this bad boy can really defend itself as well. And as it had a number of hatches around the aircraft, it could actually surprise any German attackers before, you know, they'd be coming around a blind part of it, and they're thinking they've got this old girl numbered, and the hatch would open and a Browning would open up on it. They've just, over the last year, Corgi released a Dornier with the yellow nasals around the engines, and that's a Sunderland killer, and also the Ju-88, the Biscay Bay one, is a Sunderland bit, so a nice sort of pair up to go with this. But yeah, it's just a beautiful aircraft, real lump of metal, as you can see. Just something I've just noticed actually, this is, I thought I had two of the same, but this is actually the Pembroke Bay one, as you can see, with two S on the side, and it come in this box here, which is the Royal Australian Air Force one. I've only just realised whilst making this video that I've actually got two different ones now, so that's made me quite happy really, to be honest with you. They're very similar schemes admittedly, but you know, real lump of die cast. I really do need the camo version which was released last year, another stunning bit of kit. So yeah, that's really about it. So there's some Coastal Command gear. Like I said, you know, the other aircraft you can get in the series is the B-24 Liberator, the Halifax, which I got last year, and the Millennium as well, which is a really hard to find one for such, you know, for a medium bomber. It really does fetch a few quid. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Any questions, any feedback, as always, please, you know, just leave a little note, and I'm sure I'll get back to you. And I'll do a full review on the site, on the Facebook site later. Cheers, have a good day, take care.